Look, listen, no, you don't have to worry about it. Bring the kids. It's rated G for, I don't know, good.
What is up, Monster Club? It's the Dark Rider, coming to you with another tale of terror from our great state. Let's get to the details. None shall escape the grave, but how they get there is another thing. Some will die in peace as they rest. Others will die at the hand of tragedy, horrific, agonizing death.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
But this is a different story, a story lost in the shadow of a nation that mourned the death of a president. The year is 1963. The day, the 21st of November, one day before John F. Kennedy would be assassinated. Margery Elston and stepdaughter Melinda would go missing for more than a quarter of a century. But I know what you're thinking. Dark Rider, I didn't come to the Oklahoma Monster Club for a history lesson. Don't you worry, I've got you. This is the Oklahoma Monster Club, and I am the Dark Rider. You see, Margery and Melinda Elston have shed their mortal coil. However, they remain terrestrial. That's right, folks. That makes this an Oklahoma Monster Club ghost story. Photos from the 90s appear to show phantom vehicles, mists, and ghostly figures. The source behind these photos wishes to remain anonymous. However, they did explain the photos were a result of testing military equipment to be used in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Iraq will not be permitted to annex Kuwait. And that's not a threat, it's not a boast, that's just the way it's going to be.
In the 1990s, NVSD developed an eye-safe laser rangefinder. Grunts would know it as Melios. The 90s also saw the next generation of aviators' night vision imaging system with heads-up display and an improved group of lightweight thermal weapon sights for ground troops. Our source was a significant player in the development of these technologies. Extensive field testing was conducted throughout the 90s. An anomaly was discovered, leading our source to perform spectral analysis of the photos. Using a gamma filter, the black figure of a car appeared. Our source has shared these haunting photographs sparingly, and to this day refers to them as equipment anomalies. But we've punched the ticket without taking the ride. Margery, wife of Robert Elston, a prominent War Acres businessman, and her daughter Melinda, would leave their War Acres home to run errands in Oklahoma City and visit friends in Nichols Hills. An ill-fated attempt to journey home would fail. The 1963 Cadillac would lose the road and plunge into the Lake Hefner duck pond. This is the site of their watery grave, no monument to be found commemorating the tragedy. Nothing to testify to their agonizing, untimely deaths. The car would sink deep through a thick layer of silty mud. The power doors and windows would fail. Foot after foot of mud would keep the doors from being able to open. Cold, putrid water would flood the cab. Terror would give way to shock. But the agony, knowing sweet life was merely feet away, knowing your life was slipping away. Torture, the kind of torture that could condemn a soul to relive the tragic events in the after. However, our story doesn't end here. Agent Clifford W. Roberts of the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation would die, struck by a train. The year is 1967, and although in the end it would turn out to be a wild goose chase, the Bureau received a tip concerning the disappearance of Margery Elston out of Louisiana. Agent Roberts would die as he misjudged the proximity of an approaching train as he met a railroad crossing. Agent Roberts was in a rush to get to his tipster in Louisiana, but he would never know that Margery and Melinda Elston were entombed in mud only a few miles from his office. Could Agent Roberts be responsible for the sightings of a second phantom vehicle in the area of the railroad crossing? Friends, that's a different story for a different day. The sight is calm, yet eerie, and it has a weight about it. Natural sound is drowned out by the noise of the highway. If you happen upon the land bridge at the old Hefner duck pond, stop and pay your condolences. Margery and Melinda Elston are waiting to greet you. If you want to see more, join our Facebook group, Oklahoma Monster Club. We are only on Facebook.